Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode. This is episode 50, and we're at the National Championships. This one, the first one, the Dutch National Championship, and Vandenberg has at least a decent shot of a result. Now, these National Championship road races are all difficult because no matter what the nation is, we will always only have one rider. And for the most part, to get the best riders, it's large nations. So there's lots of competition, like here, multiple Jumbo Visma guys right here, right around us. Plenty of World Tour riders. It's not going to be easy. Now, the good news is, at least today, the breakaway of 6, which initially had a 6-minute gap, didn't blow up into the we're going to let them win by 3 hours because nobody wants to ride behind, or an hour or 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. They are going to be reeled in. It's down to 2 minutes now. Peloton, chasing hard, has already shrunk. It's down to 81 riders. The riders that have been dropped did not get dropped because of crashes or punctures or things like that. They have been dropped due to pace. 60, coming up on 60k to go, so our final time to get water. There is cobbled sectors here, but it's minimalistic. They're not that bad, but with a 73 today, 74 cobble rating, Vandenberg will handle that easily. Now, that's one of the reasons why some riders are being dropped, and one of the reasons why he is not, as we are starting to see some riders crash at the moment. But just 80 in the peloton, and the first rider from the break has been split off as they are pushing to try to pull that gap out a little bit more, as we have been getting closer in on him with his little 1-star cobbled sector. Short, non-impactful. You hit it again, but it's just, it's not enough pace. Downside to having just one rider, though, long race like this one, even though we've been cruising at a 74, our maximums are beginning to decline, and that could cost us the opportunity at the end. No lead out could cost us an opportunity at the end. It will not be easy. But with an 80-80, Vandenberg, if anybody, can win a sprint. But here he goes. Not even the final time through these little hills. He's going to have to hit him again. But these short little steep hills with that 63 mountain rating. You can see how quickly he just dropped back through there. 71, no break. 70 and counting. 16k to go, but Vandenberg struggling at this point to keep up. These two hills could be a very trying period. We're going to take it easy through the first one a little bit, as we're seeing an acceleration from a group trying to go clear. Negated the first attack. Down to 63 riders as 5 more are dropped. Okay, second hill, we're going to have to push a bit harder to stay up. It's steeper, and here comes the next attack. 12 riders go clear, 51 chasing, and the chase continues, and we'll pull it back quite quickly. 5k. Gel, effort up. Vandenberg's got enough to contend for the sprint. 4k. Start moving our way forward. 3.5k. Last time through the cobbled sector, this is an area where he can make up ground quickly. 2.7. And we're almost to that front position we want to be in. 1.8. And we are in the front position now. 1.2. It's technical on the run in. Can we hold some guys off? Can we at least compete for a podium? Red Bar's going to run out just before the finish line, dropping to, looks like 6th. Poish takes the win. Barely even hanging on to 6th there with Vandenberg. If he had a lead out and the Red Bar's not gone, we were in the perfect position to claim the win. But the Red Bar was half drained at the time that we started the sprint. Technical run in, lefts, rights, didn't eat it up as fast, but it ran out, 150 meters shy of the line, and we dropped from the win to not even top 5. That's the challenge we are facing in today's episode. Is not only is Vandenberg facing that situation, but so is every other member of the team, as we have that one rider per nation limitation. Means there's no support anywhere. Swiss National Championship And this one started with a breakaway of very weak riders that nobody cared about chasing. And so they were very, very quickly opening a huge gap. I recognized it way back at the beginning of the stage, if you can see where the mouse pointer is on the early profile. And so I attacked on this first little hill right here, and then used that descent to continue pushing to open up a gap over the field. And then they just sat up, let me go a short while later, not interested in chasing, and then just held a steady pace. Took me a few times through the climb until I caught the field, but I caught them. And then looking at the other 6 riders with me, Bogley is an easy favorite in this one. So let's see if we can finish that job. We did expend a little bit of extra energy to get up here and catch this group, but they are all low, mid, or high 60s in their mountains, their hills, their stamina resistance type ratings. We've also got a +2 race day condition today that's given us some very healthy bonuses for Bogley. 79 stamina, 84 resistance. We have a decent sprint, but especially the acceleration. That's how you want to get away from these guys, is making the climb difficult over a period of time. For now, we're at 84K. I'm not worried about getting going on that yet, but I will. I think somewhere around 60K, I'll get water and then start thinking about making this difficult and then recovering on descents, and hope that I'll start to whittle this group away. Or when the time comes, we'll just have to straight up attack these guys and try to get away from them that way. But coming up on that 60K now, so we'll worry about it on the next climb, as these guys have unlapped themselves as the peloton is shrinking. 21 riders chasing though, and it's a 20-minute gap. With a 75 mountain, I have a significant advantage over this group, and that gap is down to 19 minutes, so it's another reason to really put that foot down and get on with the program. And here we go again, putting them under pressure. 3 more laps. This is a weakening job, going that 85, using that mountain rating, even though I have that hills rating as well. Just trying to weaken the group, soften them up. 13.5-minute gap. Peloton coming back at us pretty quick here. But that's enough with just 2 laps to go. We're going to go a little bit harder this time. Ooh, I'm just about riding away from these guys, aren't I? Almost. Almost got away there. We dropped somebody. I almost dropped the whole group, and then one rider kind of fell off for a moment. But that is showing that weakness. And this is why you can't just set up, because there's 2 guys trying to go clear. Okay, we're going to gel. These guys not committed to the chase the way I am. And there you go. Second attack and catching up. Waiting for the climb, waiting for the climb. That is my strength area. We'll use the acceleration as soon as we begin the climb. Final lap, here we go. There's a lapped rider. And I pull a gap. I have pulled a gap. Okay, easing up a little bit. 18 seconds. $32 seconds. I think we might as well go 99. We're almost to the top of the climb, and then you're just pushing to the descent. So 30-second advantage. 1 rider chasing, and then the others are definitely falling off. 10K to go, but it is 10K of descent. Gap down to 22 seconds. 1 rider has definitely closed in on us a little bit towards the top here. 8.5K. 8K. I don't think we can go quite 99 from here to the finish. We'll go 90. 22-second advantage. That's about the last flat section. How much left is flat? That's the flattest section the rest of the way. 6.8. Going 89. There's the last momentary uphill. 23-second advantage. 5.5K. We already used the gel in the setup for the attack there. 19-second advantage. That one rider is definitely giving us a run for our money. 4K to go. Last flat section, and then it's going to ease down towards the finish line. 3K. Uh-oh. 2.8. Last hill. And we just got to finish it off in sprint mode. What sprint we have. Here comes the chasers. Come the chasers. Heading towards the finish line. 300 meters. 200 meters. Bogley turns the rounds the last corner and will get to the finish line first. They didn't have much left in the tank. 14 seconds was the advantage. They really only pulled back a few seconds there towards the end because you didn't need much more to finish that off. Bogley, Rodeman, Barumi, Shear, Vogel, and Zobrist. And then there's the last guy. So the breakaway claims positions 1 through 7. And there's the... No, that's not 8th place. It was a lapped rider. More lapped riders. The first of the field is going to come in 13 minutes down. So 13 minutes we beat him by. Mark Hershey claims 9th place. So he would have been 2nd. And there is one win on the road. Czech National Championship, and we ride with Vasek, who crashed very early on in this stage. We've got a breakaway of 6 that certainly have an advantage, but it's not a big one. It's less than 2 minutes. The Peloton still riding pretty hard. It was difficult for those 3 riders to get back, but they are back. Vasek hopefully will recover. This one is a sprint finish, but at the same time there's undulation. So Vasek has a 71.75 on his sprint for today. He's got a 74.78 with the climbing. Gap down to a minute. A couple of riders trying to go clear and bridge that gap. Let's hope it doesn't just suddenly explode. But it's not. It's still in check. 6 riders, 45 seconds. 108K still to go. Vasek has definitely recovered, but that catching up was costly. And without a rider to offer support, it's going to be difficult. Really only a handful of quality riders for this nation, so we are amongst that group. Vasek, therefore, does have a chance, even though he is not a sprinter. But you've got that little bit of punchiness to it that does, set it apart. 75K to go. Let's go and get water here. And that should get us good to go till the end. 7 in the current makeup of the breakaway, and they have under a minute, so definitely think we'll catch them quite easily. This is just higher tempo, period. All day long. 3.5 hill climbs to go as we're in the middle of one. It's not much of a hill, but it is that steady incline. But that descent makes recovery quite a bit easier. Another rider attacking, going clear. Joining the front group. They have a 1 minute advantage. And we're going to have to watch out with just 2 laps to go. Are we chasing? Are we pulling them back? And there are some riders at the front that are committed to that, so that's good. 37K to go. 44-second advantage over the 8 at the front now. And it comes down a little bit further. Now, half a minute. Nearly on the back end. And this could be time to make a move. No. Are you trying to attack? No? Okay. 2 teams leading it out. You have to wait for the last one to potentially escape. Or do we wait for the sprint? Difficult to ask on that one. Momentary splits. Come a few guys trying to attack. Cerny among the favorites. Gently on the effort up there. 18K to go. 44 left in contention. Like I said, a lot of the riders around here are on the weaker side. So we will have a pretty significant advantage over that group, but like I said, there's a handful of riders that are similar. Vashek, my brother is here, and Cadillac chasing down two guys and back into the Peloton. Easing off, 10k to go. I think we're going to wait for the sprint now. As Cerny's getting chased, 8.5k to go. This was not the punchy type to really get clear on. But Bittner not chasing very hard, or Kopechki. And these guys are attacking, not chasing. Now we're chasing. 4.5k to go, and those two still have a slight advantage. They have definitely not been caught yet. Okay, Vashek easing our way forward, 3k to go. 2.5k to go. Okay. Laying it out, and going full sprint towards the finish. Final right-hander. We are coming from about 5th position right now as we approach the line. Not going to be a win. Bittner takes it. We almost have a podium, but we're going to just miss that. It should be a top 5, and it is. Karol Vashek is our guy. Matthias, his brother, gets 6th. So we do claim a top 5. Based on my red bar, there definitely isn't enough in there to have gone really any earlier, other than about 20 meters at most. So timing is just right. Problem is, no lead out. If we have that lead out, my tactics really show. And honestly, the effectiveness of my tactics show in these national championships, where you don't have it, the absence of what works for us on a regular basis. Shows its ugly face here of the absence of. With a lead out, could probably win that with Vashek. Bittner, the only one who would have challenged, definitely would have been a top 2. And head to head, you don't know who's gonna really come out proper, as he certainly had an advantage over others. But with a proper lead out, we're not starting from about 6th wheel, finishing 5th. We would have been starting from the front, and that's the thing. If you haven't figured that out by now regarding tactically how I handle a sprint, unless you are the dominant force, unless you are the favorite, as Bittner, you can see how quickly he flew through, and you can see how I timed things right and made our way forward. We had a head-to-head with one other guy who came from a similar place. Had I started 3 bike lengths ahead of him, easy win. 2 guys fading at the front. If we're starting ahead of them instead of well behind them, easy win over those guys. That's 3 positions up from there. Bittner, the only one who really came through fast in a strong position. He was, 3rd wheel? And flew to the front, waiting comfortably. French National Championship, just going inside 100k left in this one. It's Lenny Martinez, our best climber. See what he can do here, as there's a decent climb that we are hitting many times. You can see as we go up it now, you're getting a good 7-8%. It's not that long, but you hit it very frequently, and the descent following isn't very long, so recovery, not a lot of recovery, but that constant climbing is going to take its toll on riders, and you could see as we are already starting to lose our maximum here with 80k to go. Breakaway, just 6 riders. Gap was out at 6. It's down to 2 minutes, as we're seeing a group on the attack here. But very quickly negated whatever advantage they just pulled out. And as they do so, the breakaway panics, and the first rider is dropped. Kosnefroy goes down. Turgis, Sivikov go down. That's a couple key guys in this one. And at least for the moment, 49 yo-yoing with 84 riders. But what we're going to see is more and more riders in a worse condition than myself because of the climbing. And this group is going to very soon start to thin out here, as we're about to come up on 60 kilometers left to go here. Only problem for Martinez is we don't have that support. Kosnefroy has crashed out of this one. Kaya Samsic taking control of the peloton for the time being, It is stretched a bit here. Martinez, there we go. That was water. Final time, 60K to go. We're down to 61 riders in the Peloton. And the front group has changed. 3 more riders dropped, falling back to the other guy who never did fully, drop off. Okay, not pushing enough tempo, and a few riders getting back in contact at the back end through that descent. But how much will they have left in the tank? Probably going to get dropped right away again. Now it's just a single solo rider, so you can count out the breakaway. Seeing a few guys going clear here on the attack. But Arkea is still in control and chasing, so I'm not worried about this small number of guys going clear. Not at this stage. But we are having to speed things up as the Peloton is now half the size it was. Just 41 remaining. 4 riders left off the front with a very slender advantage. And I think at least 3 of those guys just broke away. And now it's 4 together at the front. It's only 20 seconds. 3 climbs left to go. Martinez not looking that great to contest the win. This group's been pushing again and again. 6 more riders attacking, going clear. 3 of them can't hack it. They're already pulled back. And now just 25 chasing. Well, it's actually 4. One of them has remained off the front. 2 climbs left to go. Martinez felt that one, but he's okay for now. And now we've pulled back the 1 rider. Is that Hershey? It is UAE. And we've pulled back the front 3. So 20... Oh, come on. 7 riders immediately attack there. Just ahead of us. No response at the moment, so this is one you got to watch out for, because we don't look to be chasing that hard. Two laps to go. If we hadn't won, I would think Martinez is in decent enough shape, but with 2, I worry about what we have here. Some other teams have picked up the reins and started to pull back, because you've got, assuming, an Arkea rider. Is that Gregoire? Is he the Arkea rider at the front? Yes, it is. That is why they sat up. Now they get back in control. 2 climbs to go. Again, if I was up here, I would feel good about trying to go with one of these groups, as you're seeing a lot of favorites on the attack. Let's join the group this time. And get in contact with these guys. And we're out to a 40-second advantage, but can we hang on to the back end of it as our red bar is gone? And we're just about dropped here. Can we hang on? We do hang on to the group, but now, that's what I was saying. If we had 1 lap to go, we could just about make it. 45 seconds away from the Peloton, getting dropped by the group, and 1 more lap to go. So Martinez, not his day. -1 race day condition really didn't impact anything, but he just clearly didn't have the legs, especially without support. Still 35 seconds away from the field.
There are just 15 kilometers left.
But this is going to drain the energy again, and he's going to end up back in the group of 22 and probably out the back of that group. Lucky to finishing ahead of any of them as those front 5 get away, and that does look like the winning move. I mean, we went with the right move at the right time, but wrong legs. Just didn't have them today. Down to 13, leaving 10 behind, but also about to get left behind ourselves.
10 kilometers left.
And that'll be less than 13, not just 12 riding away. There's 5 of us dropped. Then 6 more drops, so 2 riders now chasing the front 5 before they even reach the climb. With us, Bertrand, Allard, Devane. There's Sivikov. A couple strong riders ahead of us, but not enough in the tank. Martin from the front group attacking Nearly catching these 6 guys in front of us. Be nice if we can bridge that gap and join them and have a chance still at a top 10.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
As we go over the top, out of energy, but if we can recover just a little bit, again we'll have that chance. 10 attacking again, but cannot get away. 2.6k, nothing to sprint with though. 2k. One rider just in front of us. Where is that, a lap guy? Nope, we've caught him. 12 riders chasing 6. We have a chance at 7th. Alaphilippe, only 2nd for him. Very disappointing there. We'll beat a few guys, but we're not going to beat many as we run out before the finish line too. It's not going to be enough for 10. Martin only 6th. He knew he didn't have the legs, didn't have the sprint to beat those guys head to head to the line, so that's why he kept trying to break. That makes sense. But for him, cost his chance at least top 5. Martinez 16th. Ahead of Latour, our teammate in my Pro Cyclist series. Ahead of Gaudu, Renard. I mean, good riders. Good riders we beat there, but plenty of good riders that beat us. I nearly did it. The front group, that was it. That was it. Those 5 riders plus 1 who bridged the gap were the front of the field. Barguil was the other one, I think, who tried to bridge the gap but didn't. He ended up in 7th, a little ways off. So one of 2 guys who had escaped and then escaped and then escaped as it got down smaller and smaller from my group, my second grouping after I fell back to it, the 22 or so. The 5 at the front. So 5 at the front minus myself, and then 1 of the 22 was able to bridge the gap. Who it was, I don't know. It was definitely the winning move. Spanish National Championships and breakaway not getting established early on. There was a big push, and it was looking like you had some teams here that wanted to control the Peloton, and they would have to be expected results. And then all of a sudden, eventually, just 5 riders got clear, and they got well clear. And he was going out real quick. So Arrieta on the attack, 13 and a half minutes away. We've got a breakaway that's going to win this thing, and we are now within 2 minutes of this group, and we have bridged the gap. So looking at the group, I don't think we're going to be under much threat. Well, there's 73, 72, 72, 70. A lot of guys at low 70s. So a lot of guys at low 70s. Arrieta is definitely going to be the favorite. And let's go ahead and contribute in the group so that we're not attacking each other, but ride nice and easy as we have a 15 and a half minute advantage over the field. This is giving us a wonderful opportunity to claim our 2nd victory in the National Championships. We have been faring far, far better when able to get in the break. But when you're a favorite, you can't get in the break unless they do what happened here, which is sit up and let the break go claim the win. If you could catch it early enough and then catch the group, then you can win. Otherwise, you can't attack. They will not let you be the rider who goes clear. 2 movie star riders, you figure that's going to give them a slight advantage. 15 and a half minutes to go. Hard enough climb that with Arrieta and a +5 race day condition and 81 mountain and 85 stamina and 83 resistance for Arrieta, it's going to be all about that climb and hitting it at an 85 the last 2 or even 3 times that we go up here, and then sitting on the rest of the time while the others continue to work. So 3 times to go at 75k. We are going to start making life difficult. My pace, his pace, with an 81 mountain, way faster than what these guys can do. So for them to keep up with Arrieta, they have to go a lot deeper. Now, yes, they get to follow him, but they get put under immense pressure with this sort of tempo. It's going to easily put them into the 90s. Right, and now we sit up, and we will recover faster than they will because they had to go much deeper to keep up with me. next time I suspect we'll drop somebody, because towards the top of that climb, Arietta is still looking pretty good. Towards the top of that climb, a lot of these guys, not looking that good. Also, hitting into those maximums, right? So as you hit into their maximums, it's going to drop. That effort to go up that climb was really hard for these guys. Peloton, meanwhile, back within 14.5 minutes, but that's a sizable gap. 54K to go, though, is a long distance to cover. If that comes down quickly, it won't be the easiest job finishing this off. But we're almost to the climb, still holding 13.5 minutes. This group definitely sped up, which means they are going to be a lot more tired this second time around that we do this. My goal is to drop at least one guy this time. Over the top, and we do that. Down to 5. Guy regains contact, but the group, I'm still looking really fresh heading into that last one, and these guys aren't going to have much left in the legs. 11:46, 33K to go. That's enough. Last time through the flat. We're going to go harder than 85 this time. Put them under pressure that much sooner. We do want to split these guys off, but it's not, I don't think it's going to take an attack. Though an attack could be a good way to do that, right? Get off the front, force them to chase, then they're not following. They're not gaining that advantage. 10-minute gap is enough. And here we go. We're climbing, and we are clear. 87 effort, 20-second advantage, pulling away quickly. Not pulling away quickly now as one rider giving chase. 17K to go. Still have our gel, 33 seconds. And as we're about to go over the top, we're going to push on a little bit harder here. We do still need to get through that flat section. False flat here for a little bit before we can properly tuck. 35-second advantage. And then the gap behind has opened quite a bit. It's over a minute. So really only one rider chasing who's going to be a threat. Up to a 91 now. Last 10K, let's gel up. And a good little descent coming now. But we're going to have to ease off a little bit for it to see us finish this thing. Almost a minute advantage. We've got this. 4K to go. 3K to go. That only lasted 1 kilometer. Seriously? Minute 17 advantage, though. To the finish line. We got it. Arietta, Spain, national champion. Alright, folks, and that is going to do it for this episode on Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.